Hello, welcome back, gamers. It's Jason with GXP. Today we're going over Castle Development Part 1, which is Fortification and Garrison, and a lot of other stuff, so let's get right into it. So Part 1 covers the Garrison, the Fortress, Military University, Institute of War, Watchtower, Sentry Tower, War Academy, Town Hall, Shrine, Military Intel, and Alliance Hall. A lot to cover, short amount of time. So let's jump right into it. So one thing when you're building your castle up, you got to understand what the garrison's for. Not much information about the garrison, but it is for your troops and to give them power to protect your castle while your legions are out doing other stuff. So the way you interface with the garrison is through your fortress. And what you want to do is you want to basically garrison your troops. So if you garrison your troops and you just click this little button here, it puts your legions on watch duty of your town. So if they're home and you get attacked, these are the legions that you have assigned that are going to protect your town. Now, if you take those off, the only people left to defend your town, even if your troops are there, are the troops that you don't have stationed in your legion, okay? So it's important to understand that. So if you're going out and you're doing KE and you're going to try and attack castles and you don't want the troops that you have in your castle to be attacked and lost while you're sending out one of your legions, what you'll want to do is you want to unselect all those so they're not involved into the siege of your castle, okay? It saves your legions, but it puts your castle at a lower defense, all right? Now, in addition to the fortress having the ability to garrison your troops, it shows your fortification. Now, this is the strength of your castle when being sieged on. Now, if you get hit by a strong opponent and your fortification drops, and let's say you're below 50% on your fortification, you can add back some by adding gems. So this is the way, like, if you don't want to get zeroed out and blown out, you can fortify and refortify your castle through this defense right here. Now, the next one I want to go over is the Military University. This is the snapshot of all the troops that you've built since you started your castle, all the various levels of your troops, and the whole mass of troops that you have inside your castle. For me, I have 23,000 or 234,000. In my actual legions, I have 38,000. So that means inside my base, I have 150,000 troops just sitting inside my base. So understanding that your legion power is not all of your troops, that your castle has troops inside of it, understanding how much of those troops you have, you may need to kill off some because you're bloated, or you may need to add some because you need some protection. It all comes down to understanding your legions, how many you have in your legions, how many you have inside your base. And this is the snapshot of what's inside your base. Now, also upgrading, if you are going to upgrade, say, level T5s to level T6s, you have to have the right research, all right? So making sure that you click on it. If you don't have a little button here, it's either because you can't go up any higher or because you haven't got the right research in place. So make sure you're getting your research done. Make sure you're balancing how many troops you have inside your base. Don't get too fat that you have to feed them all the time. All right. The next one here is your Institute of War. What the Institute of War is basically it focuses on higher level castles. You will not be able to access it really until your C24, and really not until your C25 will you be able to utilize it. It focuses on Master Warcraft, Master City Defense, and those are research portions that this institute directly works on. Now, one thing you will be able to benefit from is tokens. If you are winning your chest and you have events that are generating tokens, these are great resources for the honor shop, which comes from the institute right here. Okay, so these are basically understanding garrison fortifications of your castle. Now, there are some things you can do like the Watchtower. The Watchtower seems pretty simple, but it is the only tool your castle has to attack enemies besides the troops you have inside. So if you fortify your castle and you increase your tower, the tower can kill oncoming enemies. And that is the only offensive tool your castle has other than your troops. Now, some tools to help you protect yourself are like the Sentry Tower. So if you go inside the Sentry Tower and you look at what it's capable of doing, it will foretell what enemy troops are coming at you. And it will look inside and tell you, depending on the level of your Sentry Tower, what's about to siege you. Good tool to have. Now, in addition to that is the War Academy. This is more of a defensive tool, an offensive tool. When you go out with your team, your alliance, and you are battling in ROC and you want to rally against someone's alliance center, this War Academy can help you do that better. All right. Now, inside the War Academy, it's not just about how many rallied troops you can put into a rally. It's also how strong you will make those rallied teammates with yourself. So if you upgrade this, and I'm just going to jump all the way up to C25, which, everyone gets a boost of 25% might on top of what they already have. And you have 4 people that can join your rally. So you're talking, full rallies, maximum people, maximum might. And it's a great offensive tool when you're trying to damage buildings and take alliance centers. Okay, so not necessarily combat, but development is the town hall. Inside the town hall is where you station both your military, your administration, and your noble people. This is a critical part of developing your castle. It may not directly involve the garrison or directly involve the fortification of your castles, but it does matter. You must understand what this stationing of your heroes does and how it affects what happens inside. All right. Major key to developing your castle is understanding the town hall. Okay, now we have this little thing called military intel. It's a piece of crap. I'm sorry. But it kind of gives you a preview of events. It kind of gives you who you've been battling, who your nemesises are. It gives you, of course, news. All right. It gives you this little thing called virtue. Now, this is the only component about it that makes any sense, but it's one of the hardest things to get. Virtue comes from your COP competitions. Now, in order for you to get virtue, you have to look at your competition standings. You have to be in a state that is crushing in the top 1, 2, 3s. All right. You have to look at your seasonal rewards, and the first contributor, the one that gives the most points, gets virtue points, and it goes down. So only the top 8 or so, if you get into the 8th place of contributing to your season COP, and that's 4 weeks of COP, you can then get virtue points. Virtue points can then be used in this section, and they're awesome, but hard to get virtue points. Now, one thing is the shrine. The shrine is if you've been decimated by the enemy and you don't have resources, you can always ask for donations. Donations help you get a little bit back to kind of bring back to life some of the troops that you lost. Now, not a huge amount, maybe 30%. It's not the greatest thing. So, if you're desperate, there's the shrine. If you can help someone out, donate to them. All right. And donating is requesting. Now, there's one last little piece here, and that's the Alliance Hall. Inside the Alliance Hall, you have reinforcements. Anytime someone reinforces you, you will see who your reinforcements are. That is about the best this thing does for fortifications, reinforcing the castles. So like if you're out here and you're in a place where people are attacking you and your alliance, you can always just click and reinforce. I got to be in the right alliance. So this town and this town. Okay. So I can reinforce these guys right here. So I could send one troop, one legion to reinforce them. That will help them in their fortification when they are attacked. So that's the basics, When we talk about all the things that castle development is, that is the basics of base troops, legion troops, how all of those buildings work with that information, and some of the protective factors that you can use when developing your castle's offense and defense. Of course, just real quick, let me jump back and show you town buffs. Anytime you need to defend yourself, you have a defensive buff. All right. Anytime you need to be stronger when you're attacking, you have the might buff. You always have a peace shield. I always suggest saving up 2,500 diamonds midday Friday, several hours before the KE weekend. Throw on a 3-day bubble. It will allow you and your farms, if everyone's under a 3-day bubble, to protect the resources that you need to grow. Simple. If you don't have those, ask your R4s or R5s how to get more shields. They will help you. Okay. Is there anything else that I might be able to add? Well, hero development's a big deal. And the town hall and the bar are two things that allow your heroes to make your castle development better. But that's a big conversation, and that's what I'll get into next. So for right now, that is the fastest I can go through part 1 of castle development, which is fortifications and your garrison. All right, guys, it's been awesome. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm in state 865. You can find me in Jdreamer, Skydancer. I'm always happy to help. If you happen to be in other states, reach out on YouTube, and I will help you as best I can. This game is all about team play. The more you learn, the stronger you become, and the faster we grow. All right, guys. Jay with GXP. I'm out.